Hi everyone and happy Tuesday. Welcome to the next video in this series from Johanna Basford's weekly planner. I'm going to start with my white pen, as you can see, and go back over those snowflakes on this present here. It was a little bit messy and I needed to wait for it to dry before colouring over what I'd done before. Even then it's quite easy to knock off the colour that was there before. If it's quite thick, you can sometimes scrape it off with the nib of the pen, so you have to be a little bit careful. It's quite useful in a way, because if you do put white pen or gel pen in the wrong place, you can scrape it off, but you don't really want to deliberately scrape it off. It would have probably been more useful to be a bit closer when I did that. But we're coming in closer now. I'm going to start with this little present here. I'm going to grab my red, my blood red, and off we go. Colouring this little one. So this week, trying to think, I know that this week will be a busy week for me. I think it's the 17th today. Yesterday I would have met a friend for coffee and had a doctor's appointment. It's all very exciting. Lemonade for our bow. And then I think it will be the last week of uni, so the children might not necessarily be going in all the time. I'm going to make this one the hot pink in the background. I think I'm going to leave the snowflakes black, because I don't think a white pen is going to show up particularly well on here. But what I am going to do is grab an extra colour to what we were using yesterday. I'm going to grab a grey so I can try and do a silver ribbon on this one. Hopefully I can pull it off. But grey and pink goes anyway. I expect everyone's getting quite busy now, leading up to Christmas. I know not everyone celebrates it, of course, but I think a majority of people do. Grey. I want the greythorn. It's the best grey. It's for making silver. So put some at the top here and at the bottom, and leave a gap to make it look like it's shiny. Do the same here. And then on these, do them dark at the bottom and just fade off. We can hopefully just give a bit of a silvery look to our present. Now we've got holly on this one, so I'm just going to do it in green. This is the fang green. Everyone's always busy, aren't they? Coming up to Christmas. I'm actually trying to get ahead with videos and things, so that I'm not busy. You know, it's nice to. That's why I'm doing this one so early. I have actually got a few gaps, but sometimes I find it easier to get a bit ahead with my weekly planners, and then I know what space I've got for other things and I can plan. I've got a few videos lined up to make for you from various different books, wintry and Christmas things, which is exciting. I enjoy it. I was going to just grab a yellow for a background here, but I've done the green leaves with yellow background already. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep going by with alternating the colours, you know, doing different colours all the time until I sort of run out of colours. But I think I'm going to go for the sapphire green and do, you know, a lighter green behind. I'm also going to try and keep my colouring light so that it looks lighter. But I hope that people will still prioritise their mental health and do a bit fine tune to a bit of colouring. Sometimes it can only be 5 minutes on the busiest of days, but I try to make sure that I always do some every single day, as I say, even if it's just 5 minutes. Because you might think, well, you know, you're lucky, you do it as a job, you can always, but you still can't always find time for it, because just choosing my ribbon colour, I feel like it's got to be gold dust. But if I'm out and about, of course, that limits me a lot. But also there are other things to do as part of the YouTube sort of job, as well as the actual colouring. This part is the fun part, and then I've got to do, you know, edit the videos. That doesn't take much effort but takes time, and then upload them to YouTube. I have to take them off the camera first, then edit them, then put them up onto YouTube. My phone's ringing again. Right, I am back. Now I did think that I hadn't done any black on these, the sort of shadow around the ribbon, and I'm not going to do that until the end. I think I will just, might make more sense to do them all at the end, might be a little bit quicker. We have this another holly one though, so we're going to use, yes, we'll use the fang, the venom, sorry, it's different to those two greens, and it's different to this green, so that'll be good. So we get on. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just ran downstairs. Someone was on the phone calling me something about, they were from they said NEC, National Energy Centre, employed by the energy solar panel manufacturers to let me know about excuse me, discounts that I was able to get. But I was really like, this sounds like a scam. She had a very obvious British accent, which makes me slightly less suspicious. I know that sounds very, very racist and rude, but you know, a lot of the scammers we get here in the UK are from abroad. I'm going to use the lemonade in the background of this one. But I didn't understand why. I said, oh well, if I need to replace something to do with my solar panels, I'll just talk to the manufacturer then and get the. Oh no, it doesn't work like that. You've got to get it now and then apply it then, and it just sounded all a bit weird and silly. And she said, you know, because the government schemes aren't available anymore, the manufacturers have taken it over and they give you discounts. And I thought, really? Do they really? I'm not sure. This is Brown Bug. I'm not sure, but I am going to look up the company later and find out if they really do exist and what they actually do, because it just, I don't know. Perhaps, I think we've all become a little bit more suspicious because of, we know there are so many scams around, and particularly with solar panels there are apparently a lot. So yeah, so I just yeah, I tend not to believe them really. I tend to think they're just trying to sell, you know, as soon as they say we're not trying to sell you something, I immediately think someone's going to try and sell me something. Do you do that? It's like, why are you telling me this, that you're not. This one here I'm going to do in, I'm going to start with my amethyst and do the bulk of the paper in that. I don't know, I just get suspicious as soon as someone says I'm not sending you anything. Why? What? You know, I don't know. Anyway, I know that we're likely to have to replace our, we need to sharpen up our inverter soonish, but I shall go to a big energy company and talk to them about it. and if that means I end up paying more money, I think I'm quite happy to, because I will know that I'm okay. Do you know what I mean? I haven't been scammed. Though I am suspicious of the company who fitted our solar panels, to be honest, because he was very small and new to it, and I'm not suspicious of him as a person. I certainly feel that he didn't rip us off or anything like that. I'm going to use the space for the other lines, but he took off a lot of our roof tiles to put the solar panels on, and since we've had ours, other neighbours have had solar panels and none of them have had that done. I don't really understand why that was done to ours, and a lot of those roof tiles have now broken because they've been sitting in the garden. This is the zephyr blue. I'm going to use it for our ribbon. I'm going to leave a little shine bit in the middle for this one. So if we take off those solar panels and replace them with new ones eventually, are they going to say, actually, you need these tiles replaced? You need tiles on. Why haven't you got tiles on? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But anyway, it won't be too bad because we'll definitely replace what we've got with new ones, because we found solar panels fantastic. Right, leaves. Should we do leaves that aren't green? My brain's screaming no. Don't worry, I'm going to use the fang green. I'm reassuring myself as well as you. So yes, we'll have them again. They're very, very good. Well, thing is, it was a really good investment for us at the time because we get paid money for generating electricity as well as saving electricity on our bills. But those tariffs, feed-in tariffs as they were called, incentives I suppose, aren't available anymore. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. So it means that we'll have to, we won't be able to get that, but apparently the saving on the energy bills is enough to make it worthwhile, because the panels are much more efficient. But we will have to get some quotes and do all the maths really, and decide. Now, background here, I'm going to do this pink. This is the maiden pink. Now it's the very bright intense pink, but I'm going to do it a little bit lighter. We've got it here, but I'm just going to do it a bit lighter so that it isn't really intense, and see if I can get away with that. Just a little bit paler. But I'm very, as I say, I'm pleased we've got solar panels. We've made the money back that we paid for them in energy saving, and the money we get back for generating. But our bills are still quite high. It's quite interesting, because the thing is, when you're generating the most energy, it's sunny, so you don't need the light on. You're less likely to be cooking with the oven because it's in the middle of the day. I do my oven cooking in the evening. Going to use this Blue Horizon for this present. Going to use it in the background, and things like that. So when you're actually making electricity, you're less likely to be using it. We have tried to get into the habit of putting our dishwasher on in the morning, not at night, or setting the timer on it so that it goes on when it's light. You know, in the winter, if you need to put it on after breakfast, it's usually still dark. So you can set it so that it doesn't go on for 3 hours, and then it's light by then, that sort of thing. You know, so things like that you sort of learn to do, to sort of take advantage of the cheaper energy or free energy when you can. But it's still, I think I'm going to leave these dots white because they look like snow, I think. And we've got white on our snowflake presents, which we obviously use white pen, but we don't need to do that for these. I mean, I could put a bit on because I've gone over the lines a bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to need to do our little bow though. Where are our other blues? The zephyr blue. I think I used the zephyr blue for the bow. And what I'm going to do is make it quite dark in the middle, fade it a bit, and then on each bit sort of fade them towards the middle to try and make it look a bit satiny. And then our gift tag, I think I'm just going to do really light, like that. There we go. Right, now we have got this holly. Again, we need a green. Used all the greens. I'm going to grab the sapphire. Just block those in. I'm trying to figure out what day it is. It's Wednesday, because I've got a lot to do video making wise, and it's just trying to make sure I fit it all in. I haven't used the deep purple yet today, but it's not going to work with this. I think I'm going to do a background of yawn. I'm going to use the hot pink. I don't see why we can't have pink and green. I think we can. Yeah. Not sure what colour bow I'm going to do. What would you do? I'm going to do a dark green. It'll tie it together, I think. Ha! It will literally, because it's a bow. I'm hilarious. So the fang green. I'm not going to do a shiny one though, because I haven't done it for all of them. So I need to make them not all the same. There we go. I wonder if by the time this video is gone out I would have finished my Christmas shopping. That's what I was just thinking about. This is brown barb. No, I'm a liar. It's deep purple. I can do it for the background on this one. Yeah. I wonder if I would have it all organised. I tried to get organised early. As I say, last year we had COVID. I remember we had it just before Christmas, and father-in-law got it over Christmas. And he was really ill, and he had to be on his own, of course. His companion did sort of go into him and leave him things and sort of talk to him cold dust from the doorway or whatever, and obviously she telephoned him and, you know, kept as did we, but he got really down and miserable because, you know, it's horrible. It's on his own. Everyone else is having a good time. And also the whole plan was that he would entertain at his house. I think that's the Blue Horizon. I was going to put it on here. I think I will do something different. I'll use the amethyst instead. I'll still be able to use the same colour that I thought of for my bow. So all the food was at his house, I think, because he was going to be entertaining. So his companion had to come over and take some of the food back to her place. and leave him a bit, and she would sort of cook something and then take him some back, but he didn't feel like eating. Oh, it was miserable, poor thing. So this year him and her are just going to have Christmas alone together, and they are really looking forward to it, so he said. So I'm very pleased for them. Do we have a dark purple? Where is it? Is it the grape? Space. I can use the space. Oh, I used that combo there. You can't see up there. Let's do something. That wasn't what I was going to do. I was going to do the zephyr blue. So I will. But for him, part of Christmas is going to church, and of course he wasn't able to do that. Poor chap. Right, here we have a really enormous present that just has a swirly pattern on, so it's really easy to colour. So I'm just carefully looking. I'm going to use the blood red. I want a nice bright red gift here. We haven't even got all of it, but I'm sort of going to draw. I've got a ruler, hang on. I was having a tidy out of a drawer. I've gone too far now, and I found a brand new ruler, so I pinched it and brought it in here because I had to use a piece of cardboard for a ruler the other day for a straight edge in a video, so I thought it was about time I had a ruler in here. I have one in my desk in the other room, but it is a big one. Like this is a 6-inch ruler, the other one is a 12-inch ruler. I find it hilarious that we still call rulers 6-inch and 12-inch, I suppose, because this 6-inch ruler, you can't see it all, is 15 centimetres, and a 12-inch ruler is 30 centimetres. So it just works, but we always measure. I mean, most of us measure in metric, not imperial, same as our weight, but heights we tend to do in we tend to do heights in feet and inches, not centimetres, which is really strange. But we do, and weight, like babies, you know, your baby weighs X kilograms and you're always like, what's that? Can you convert it? Like my baby's birth weights were £6.4 and £6.9. You know, I had it written down in kilograms as well, but it didn't mean anything to me. Yeah, twins, 6'4" and 6'9". I was quite big. But I was determined that they were going to be big and healthy. I kept myself as healthy as I could, did everything I could. Now I'm going to make this ribbon the space. Would you put a purple ribbon on a red parcel? Looking at this, don't think I would. Ew. Never mind, it's done now. Yeah, so we do the sort of baby weights and heights in old. I've just got my red again. I'm just going to tidy up this because I think it's too messy. But we do, like when I'm baking, I always use kilograms, grams and kilograms, and when we're driving, no, we always use miles. It's just ridiculous. I'm keeping the red in my hand because we've got these candy canes to do. Oops, trying not to go over the lines. Now my eye's itching. Sorry. I think it's quite fun that these parcels are like, they've got the same paper but different bows and labels and things on. That's exactly how parcels would actually work, isn't it? you would put a different bow or something on, maybe. But there would be different sizes as well. I don't really have that. It's a bit messy. I'm going to use the brown bug for the rest of the bow. It's a bit darker inside. Now, I guess you could do that inside bit as the same colour as the wrapping paper, as if just these two strands were the ribbon rather than the whole thick part. But that isn't what I wanted to do. What colour? Green. Green will save the day. Sapphire. Now I'm thinking about that gift tag, which is why I've gone so quiet, what colour to do it. And I've decided that it's going to be dark green, because I don't want to introduce a completely new colour, and also it will match. So the fang green, but applied very lightly, because we've got to be able to see the writing on it. There we go. Now, how are we doing for time? Oh, we're good. It's got a little baby present here. And what haven't we done for ages? We've done a yellow, this colour, the gold dust, for a while on paper. Use that. And then I was going to do a red bow, but I've used a lot of red. Maybe I'll do a space. This one's quite awkward because it's short, but that's okay. I know you can buy new open stock black widows. Look at this one, it's nice, isn't it, all the Christmas trees. I'm going to use the venom for the trees. Yeah, you can go to Black Widow's Facebook page and message them, and they replace pencils. Now, I have heard people saying they're very, very expensive and the postage is very expensive, but I think they are a little bit cheaper now than they have been in the past. But obviously you still need to decide whether it's worth it, because I think they ship, I might be wrong, but I think they ship from Australia. I might be wrong. But so yes, you need to be a little bit careful on deciding whether it's the right thing to do. Also, whether it's better to just maybe buy a new tin rather than singles. It's tricky because if you've got lots of different tins like I have, I'm lucky enough to have all of them. The ones you use most are spread between different sets, or the ones that have broken and gone down more quickly. So you have to decide whether it's better to buy a whole tin with the ones that you need, if they're all in one tin or not, or quite what to do. Also, some colours are quite similar to each other. I'm going to use the brown bug for the, it's not brown though, is it? I'm going to use the venom for the trunks. I haven't got a brown, and I don't want one. I don't want to do anything else brown, you see. Yes, so you have to weigh it up really and decide whether it's worth it for you. Whether you think it's good value. But yes, as I was saying, sorry, there are some very similar colours in different sets, So you might be able to, I'm going to use the lemonade. So certain colours are very similar to others, so you might be able to just use the closest match without having to replace that pencil. It just depends on the particular colour, you know, like there's 2 blacks and 2 whites, for example, so you'd probably be okay. But it just depends on the particular colour. Sometimes, oh, sorry, my nose went all tickly then. It made me make a funny noise. Sometimes I find that if I have used up quite a lot of a particular set of pencils, then I can really expand myself by using the longest pencils in the set. So rather than getting new ones, I think, right, well, I'm just going to colour this particular page with all the long ones. Now it will very much depend on the page you're colouring whether that's going to work and how well those colours go together. But I've had some success at doing that on mandalas or pattern pages, you know, where you can just basically pick any colour. So it is something that's worth playing with, because sometimes you end up discovering a colour that you hadn't really used much before, that you didn't think you liked, and actually you do, you know. So it can be very worthwhile. Now our ribbon. I'm thinking of blue. I'm going to go for the Blue Horizon. But I am going to put a shine in this ribbon because there's so much of it. I think it will make it look more interesting. Do you like putting ribbons on presents? My kids hate it when I put ribbons on presents. It takes too long to open. I can never undo the bows, get the ribbons off. They always prefer not. My husband likes it because he knows that it shows that I've put effort in. He appreciates the effort and he likes them looking pretty. But he always likes to hold on to opening his presents for ages. He doesn't like opening them quickly, he just likes looking at them for a while, which is nice. He used to be quite happy for the boys to just open theirs and him to just sit and wait. But we're not going to be at home this year, so I don't know what he's going to do. Whether we'll leave things till the day after. We might do that. It depends what time we're up. Because we can't be out too early and disturb everyone. Got this one to do before we sort of move across. I'd quite like to do that paper in the Zephyr blue. I'm thinking I might draw the stars back on in a white. It always creaks, the planner, when I lean my hand against the ring. Never mind. The last few years I've been thinking about whether to buy another copy of Johanna's Christmas to do, but by the time I've done the planner, I've usually found enough Christmas pictures, because Johanna always has a new book out reasonably soon before Christmas. It means that there's always a lot of people wanting videos from that, so there's always plenty for me to do without having lots and lots of Christmas colouring to do. And I've completed 2 copies of Johanna's Christmas by now, so you know, that's quite a lot. I am thinking that around that flower, that border, I'd quite like to keep that white, but do the flower and the ribbon in the hot pink. yeah, so I sort of decided that I didn't really need another copy, and I wasn't really necessarily ready for it, considering that I colour them in the planner as well. You end up colouring a lot of things 3 times. I'm going to do that really lightly in this as well. Now I'm going to get my white, and I'm going to do the stars. They're quite hard to see. So yes, you can end up doing them a lot. For example, I'm working on my second copy of Small Victories already, and also a second copy of Lost Ocean, and a second copy of World of Flowers and Worlds of Wonder. I'm just going to scribble my pen. But I find that quite a few of the pictures I've done quite a lot of times before. If they're in the planner, I think we'll get Small Victories. I can't remember. I've done a flip through of next year's planner. I can't remember it. It's quite nice having a surprise, but I know that from the flip through there are very few really detailed pictures in the same way. This year seems to have been full of really detailed pictures that have been quite daunting, whereas I know that next year's has very few like that, which is nice, because I think the detailed pictures can be nice if you're in the mood for them, and some people do enjoy them, but because these are shrunk down a bit, then you've got to do them in a shrunken form, which I find a bit more challenging when there's lots of details, like on this page. There we go. Okay, been going for half an hour. We'll do a few more, and then we'll do this one, for example. I'm going to use the hot pink again, and then we'll do the midnight, the black through it before we finish. Yeah, it is nice doing them again, but when they're shrunk and detailed, it can be quite difficult to get a nice look sort of thing on them. And as I say, next year doesn't seem to have so many detailed pictures as far as I could see. Ribbon. Let's do a blue. No, that's the same combination as that. Hold on. Let's do Blue Horizon. That's that. No. Space. Sorry, people. It's quite difficult to keep finding the colour combos we haven't used. I'm sure I'll soon have to just start using ones I've used before. Some of these parcels appear lots of times. Just going to do this one. I'm going to use the gold dust. I can find it. There it is. Which we used on the one above. Okay, strangest noise outside. When I was out earlier, there were 3 jackdaws flying above, and it sounded like they were having a yap. They were squawking each other back and forth so loudly. Blood red. I find it quite amusing. They were so loud. Right, I am trying to think of the ribbon colour. Green seems to be the obvious answer, doesn't it? Or the lemonade. I'm trying to work out which green hasn't been used there. I think it's probably the sapphire. That's what I'm going to use, the sapphire. That's sapphire, isn't it? I thought we'd managed to pick one that we didn't have up there, but never mind. It is what it is. Right. I'm going to grab my midnight and I'm going to go through all the gifts that I've done in this video and put a bit of shadow on them around the ribbons. You don't have to do this if you think it's too fiddly or you don't like it. I just think it adds a bit of depth. There we go. It takes a bit of concentration though, hence the quiet. I'm sorry. I'm also getting tired. I'm going to go and have a coffee in a minute. I feel like this is going to be like a whole week's worth of videos. And I don't know whether you really need more videos on this, but anyway, I will follow the tradition that I always do with these and do the videos, but I'm just thinking they might be not very popular. You might not be interested, but we'll see. I don't feel like we're even halfway. I messed that one up. I need to keep it up against the black line. Don't have a very steady hand. Oh, I don't want to put any shade on the candy cane, do I? Nearly there, I think. There we go. Okay, I am done. Let's come out. You can see how far I've got. As I say, I don't think I'm even halfway yet. There we are. But thank you for watching today. I do hope you come back and watch a bit more tomorrow, see what I'm going to come up with colour wise, and I hope that you're enjoying it. Thank you for watching today. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.